Good day, everyone. J7409 here with you with a tropical update for the morning of Memorial Day, Monday, the 28th of May, 2018. And if you have any pictures that you would like to share, please click scroll down, the scroll down tab, go all the way to the bottom. You'll see my email address that you can send pictures to me, okay? If you have any pictures in the Florida area after this Alberto does whatever it's going to do that you'd like to share, even up in the Maryland area where that great catastrophe flooding is going on, any weather phenomena across the U.S., please send them to me. I'd love to share them with everybody, okay? If it's your first time here, you like to keep up with the weather, please click subscribe, click the bell so you get all the latest in weather news, forecast, and alerts and tropical weather. Now, to Alberto. Here we go this morning. Dry air, dry air. Okay, that's why it's looking a little ragged, everybody. However, the Alberto, in the latest report from the National Hurricane Center, is holding its strength this morning. Now, the Air Force hurricane hunters went out and investigated the cyclone just a few hours ago and found winds to the north of the center that still support an intensity of about 55 knots. Now, the minimum pressure dropped just a tad, just a little, to 990 millibars. Deep convection regions are very kind of patchy and ragged to a little bit, if you ask me. However, though, what's making this is all the dry air you see. When this rolls back around up here, you see this patch right in here. This is dry air, and it is making for the ragged kind of patchy places of convection. Doppler right now is showing some convection in some bands, not all of them, just some of them. If one of them goes by, you're in the area. That's the way it'll be. Now, they are scheduled to move onshore over the Florida Panhandle. Some of these more convection bands dropping more and more rain. But this is the culprit, the dry air that you see in here. That's what's making it look a little ragged, and not as much convection in the rain bands is going on at this time. So here's the latest that came in at 7:52 a.m. EDT from the National Hurricane Center. And what have we got? What are they telling us this morning? Sustained winds are 65 miles per hour. Now, the minimum central pressure, it had dropped down a tad to 990 millibars when the National Hurricane Center and the Air Force went out and checked it all out. It was 990. Well, now it's up that tad one more to 991 millibars. Moving kind of slow, folks. Moving 6 miles per hour to the north. If you're tracking it, 29.0 north, 86.0 west. Is the track still looking the same? Well, let's go check it out. Okay, here we go with the track as of this morning around 7 a.m. Everybody now in the blue, you are under a tropical storm warning, okay? Tropical storm warning. Now it's going to move on up, and by 1 a.m. tomorrow, should be right in here in Arkansas, moving on up. Look how far this depression's going, people. All the way up into Michigan, parts of Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. Check it all out. Some things have changed with the amount of rain everybody's going to get, so we need to go check that also. Now, we all know that, yeah, it's going to be a big old rainmaker. We're going to have rain in lots of states from this thing, not only today, but right on through the week. Where I live, I have a chance of rain through next Sunday, this coming Sunday. That doesn't mean it's going to rain continuously. Some days it will, some days it won't. Some days the chances are more or less. But I want to point this out to you guys. This was created for today, and this is how much rain you should get through Thursday the 31st. So here we go. We're going to look at this right in here. Now, I found this very interesting. Everyone who's in the light green, 1 inch. 1 inch of rain from this system. But if you look, it goes all the way up here into Indiana, where you can get more. It goes over into Illinois, and this is the light green. Tennessee, Alabama, of course, all of this. The light green is 1 inch. Now, if you're in the darker green, right in here, you're going to get at least 2 inches of rain from this system. And if you are in the yellow, you're going to get 4 inches of rain over in the Panhandle and in the state of Alabama. Also, parts of South Carolina, parts of North Carolina, and parts of Georgia are going to get 4 inches of rain. Now, where you see this orange, that's 6 inches of rain in Alabama. If you're right in this area of Alabama, you're going to get a lot of rain. Also, right down here in Florida along the Panhandle. So, if you are in a low-lying area, anywhere that, has flooding as a possibility at times, please keep this in mind. And what we're looking at right here is the tropical wind speed probabilities through the next 120 hours. Okay, as you can see, if you're in the purple, you got a 100% chance of getting the tropical storm winds as they come on shore with Alberto. There's the graph. You can figure it out. You know where you live, but it's looking like, Florida, Alabama, parts of Mississippi. All of you guys are going to have some wind to some degree, whether it be little or whether it be on the higher end. And once again, this is the tropical storm strength. Now, I checked. In the next 120 hours, no one should receive hurricane strength winds. What you're looking at here is 50 to 55 knot winds, okay? Around 58 mile per hour winds. And then this is the chances that you have of receiving them within the next 120 hours. As you can see, some of you are going to get some 58 mile per hour winds. You may have some gusts of 60. We'll just have to wait and see if this deteriorates any or if it holds its own like it seems to be doing right now. But this is the area for the 58 mile per hour winds. So we're going to wrap it up with the important information everybody needs to know. Storm surge watch. Storm surge watch is in effect right up in here. Tropical storm warning in effect for Swanee River to the Mississippi-Alabama border. Okay? Now, what we really need to concentrate on is when is this coming in? Well, the center of Alberto should cross the northern Gulf Coast in the warning area this afternoon or evening. After landfall, the system is forecast to move well inland into the Tennessee Valley tomorrow and into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region on Wednesday and Thursday. Maximum sustained winds are near 65 miles per hour with higher gusts, and little change in the strength is expected before it reaches the northern Gulf Coast later today. Now, as soon as it hits land, it's going to start weakening like crazy, people, okay? So who's going to get the brunt of this tropical system is wherever it comes in on land, okay? So that's what you need to keep your eyes on. I want to remind everyone there is that chance of tornadoes, so please be aware of that also, okay? Now, as far as the rainfall goes, central Cuba, an additional 5 to 10 inches, isolated storm totals of 20 to 25 inches. This is, they don't call it a tropical storm, and there's reasons for that, but it is a long drawn out process storm. It is a rainmaker. Now, the Florida Panhandle into much of Alabama and western Georgia, 4 to 8 inches, isolated 12 inches. Florida Keys and Florida Peninsula, an additional 1 to 4 inches, isolated 10. The rest of the southeast and the Tennessee Valley into the lower mid-Atlantic from Tennessee east through the Carolinas, 2 to 6 inches. And rains in Cuba could produce those flash floods and mudslides. So please, please, keep that in mind. Flooding and flash flooding are possible in the southeast United States, including Florida. And I'm under a flood watch. We're all up and down from North Carolina all the way down to Florida on the coast. We're under some sort of flood advisory or flood watch, and in other parts of the state's inland. So with that all said and done, that's your update there. I'll keep my eyes on it if anything drastically changes. Please click subscribe, click the bell. Make sure you get all the latest in weather news, forecast, advisories, tropical weather, alerts. And I want to remind everyone on this, there's a good chance of severe thunderstorms breaking out in the U.S. today, all over. So keep that in mind. Everybody be safe. Take care, my friends. I love you. Please comment, like, share, all the good stuff you do. I appreciate it so much. And peace, love, and kindness to each of you.